Lori, thanks for joining us today. To begin with, around 75% of Inuit in Nunavut can carry on a conversation in Inuktitut, but getting service in Inuktitut is a challenge. How does that play out on the ground?
It means that those people that mainly speak Inuktitut or read Inuktitut are not getting the quality service that they deserve. And when they do get it from Inuit federal employees, those federal Inuit employees are being discriminated against by the federal system for not being bilingual in French.
Yeah, the Public Service Alliance of Canada is saying that not giving this bonus is effectively discrimination. Obviously, that's something you would agree with?
Yes, absolutely. I think that Indigenous federal employees deserve to be recognized for the skills they have for being able to speak in their Indigenous languages. They deserve to get the same benefits as federal employees that are bilingual in French or English. So I'm hoping that the Treasury Board does change its mind about excluding Indigenous language federal employees' benefits.
Your party, the NDP, are the ones lending your support to help keep this minority government alive. Or do decisions like this, not offering a bonus to Indigenous language speakers, does that affect any of that?
The confidence agreement that we have with the Liberal government is very important. I think that it helps to make sure that we don't have another election too imminently. It helps to give stability within Canada. So I think that we can also leverage it for priorities that are important to us, and we have done that, for example, with making sure that there are expansions on making sure that dental care is provided to more Canadians, as well as pharmacare that will come later. So I think that we do definitely, through this confidence agreement, I'm hoping to use it to make sure that the Treasury Board changes its mind about providing benefits to its Indigenous federal employees.
We understand there's a pretty familiar office dynamic in Nunavut where the one Inuit employee ends up being an informal translator for the entire office without being compensated. I'm sure you found yourself in that situation, being relied on to interpret because there's no one else to. Can you explain how much pressure that puts on that individual employee?
It's a lot of pressure, especially if they haven't been trained to be an interpreter. Interpreters provide valuable services, and they, as trained professionals, they really help to make sure that the communication is shared between the two languages that don't understand each other. So for Inuit that haven't trained to be interpreters, they might lose some of the context in translation. So I think that being able to provide them this benefit will help make sure that they are being recognized for the important work that they do as bilingual in Inuktitut or in other Indigenous languages.
MP Idlout, just quickly here for yourself, you've been speaking some Inuktitut in the House of Commons. Is that something that's easy to pull off with interpreters, or is that a challenge as well?
It's a challenge as well. I have to give notice, 2 days notice, if I'm going to if I want to speak Inuktitut in the House of Commons. And a lot of the times we're not able to provide it because when we're asking questions, it's not scheduled ahead of time. Sometimes I'm asked on last minute to ask a question, so it's not always possible. It is a challenge. But the Parliamentary Translation Bureau has been great. They've been very supportive. They are doing what they can to make improvements, and I'm hoping that with my priority as an Inuktitut language speaker, that I'm leading the way for other Indigenous languages to also be interpreted from their languages to English or French. We do experience delays. For example, yesterday during the important historic event with the nomination of Justice Michelle Obansewan, I had tried to speak in Inuktitut, which would have been translated into English, then into French. The delays in that process made it challenging for the French MPs to understand or feel like they were understanding what was going on. So there are challenges, but I think we're paving the way for improvements.
Absolutely. MP Idlout, we'll have to leave it there, but sure appreciate you sharing some of your experience with us.
Thank you so much, and I hope you have a good day.